Advanced transcription number 26, speed 100 words per minute, start. Sir, I rise to support the bill moved by the Honorable Home Minister. This bill probably should have been discussed much earlier. This country is facing the grave situation in the field of terrorism. Existing laws are inadequate to meet this challenge. Terrorism, as it is spreading all over the world, has become a global phenomenon. India is one of the worst victims of terrorism. If our laws to face terrorism are inadequate, it is the fundamental and primary responsibility of this House to pass sufficient legislation. Today, after a long gap, probably the 2011, when the report of the Standing Committee was before the government and the cabinet approved the proposals, it should have been passed much before. Shri Meghwal was very heartily supporting this bill, but we could not pass this bill in the last monsoon session, thanks to the honorable members of opposition, because it was a washout session, so we could not pass. But at least when it came, not a very senior and very serious member of this House, Shri Mehtab, was also saying that this may be deferred to some other day. I can understand the argument which the honorable member has advanced, that there was a controversy about another bill which was brought to tackle terrorist activities, and that is regarding the National Counter-Terrorism Center. That was probably in the mind of many other honorable members, that this bill is another incarnation of that proposal. First, this bill was introduced and then it went to the Standing Committee, it came back to the House, and it was to be discussed in the last session. After a lot of time was wasted during the last session, we got an opportunity now, and when I heard Shri Mehtab saying that it should be postponed, I was a little disappointed. However, I am not questioning his intention. When the NCTC bill was mooted by the government, I remember the political differences that were there at that time. We are in a federal polity. The powers of state governments should not be encroached upon by the center. Even when we accept this in letter and spirit, when the unity and integrity of the country is challenged by external forces, by terrorist forces, abetted by hostile forces, it is our bounden duty to come to a conclusion. But there was a big controversy. Whom is it going to help? Should there be a controversy on the powers of the center and states? We can have a controversy on any other subject, but not on this kind of a bill to set up NCTC. As the Home Minister said, that bill is still in the pipeline and that may come with the consensus of the Honorable Chief Ministers. Sir, we all know that the purpose of this bill, as has been briefly explained by the Honorable Home Minister, is to widen the scope of the existing Act. This Act was first passed in the year 1967, 45 years ago. In these 45 years, the landscape in various countries has changed a lot, not only here but all over the world. In 2004, we made an amendment to this act, and in 2008, we came up with another amendment. Again, when we are coming now for another amendment, we are faced with new problems, and how to tackle those new problems is what is being addressed in this house. Sir, the main thing, as explained by the Honorable Minister, is the definition of terrorist act to cover the activities affecting the economic security. At one point of time, we all thought that it is the bomb, gun, chemical weapons are helping terrorism. But today, we find that the security of a country can be more effectively threatened through money laundering or fake currencies, or the economic security of a country can be sabotaged through various other means. Today, it is not a secret that Indian currencies which are printed in the neighboring countries are being transported in bulk into India. In the past, huge consignments of fake currencies were seized on the borders many times. We do not know how much is being pumped into the Indian economy. In our country, we are struggling to cope up with many problems. We have poverty. We want to eradicate poverty. We have unemployment, and we want to eradicate unemployment. Growth of economy is the only solution for eradicating poverty. No slogan can solve it. But a country which is growing fast as compared to many other countries, today there are many people who are envious of the growth of India. They think that the right thing is not to attack with army, not to attack with weapons, but they think that the right thing is to destabilize India economically. So the definition of terrorism has been expanded to cover the economic security. In that proposition, and rightly so, the angle of fake currency has been included. Mr. Deputy Chairman, sir, I crave the indulgence of the House and also your indulgence for stating certain obvious facts which are very well known but which we are often apt to forget. Sir, the Indian railway system, as the Honorable House knows, is the biggest in the whole of Asia, and it is the fourth biggest in the world. It is also the biggest nationalized undertaking, and nowhere is such a big experiment made and such a large area covered. Sir, when we deal with the budget proposals, we have to bear in mind this far-reaching character and the historic role that the railway system is playing in this vast country. This budget, as presented to us, has to be viewed and considered from this larger angle. Though the budget has taken the usual form of an annual ritual, and though it indicates and projects a set pattern, it marks the culmination and the ending of a period of achievement and the budding and flowering of another period of achievement.